return in North Korea.
Is North Korea.
North Korea.
North Korea. North Korea.
Hello my people, it's Star Africa here again with another episode. In today's video, I have this ambition, or I have this dream of traveling to a place like North Korea. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you reasons why I want to travel to North Korea, and I'm equally going to be telling you more about North Korea and some of the things that you definitely do not know about this country, North Korea. I just hope that you would love this video. And so just stay glued and let's dive into the video.
North Korea has fired a long-range missile in what is viewed as a major escalation.
Another nuclear test at any time.
Tonight, Kim Jong-un could be one step closer to threatening America with a nuclear-tipped missile.
Rocket Man is on a suicide mission for himself. North Korea will be met with
Starting with why I want to travel to North Korea, I've been watching so many videos online and I've read so many stuffs written about the country of North Korea online. And yeah, most of these things have drawn my attention to the country. And I really want to go and see what this other side of the world looks like, given the image that so many people who have traveled to the country come back with and show most of us who have never been to the country. I mean, it's not just any destination where you pick up your bags and then you are ready and you just visit the country like that. So I really want to be able to also go and experience this other side of the world where people are not connected to the internet like you and I, who would watch videos online on YouTube. I mean, just search anything that you want to search. Or you and I who would watch TV channels and just change to any other channel that you want to watch. In North Korea, it isn't the case, because in North Korea, they've only got propaganda channels which are controlled by the government and no one else. And yeah, a brief history about, or a brief story about North Korea that you definitely do not know. North Korea is a country in East Asia. It shares borders with countries like China, with countries like South Korea, and with countries like Russia. So these are the countries that borders North Korea. And yeah, North Korea got its independence sometimes in 1948. Now you'll be asking a question like, is there North Korea and is there a South Korea? Definitely the answer is a big yes. North Korea and South Korea were once a single country, but then once Japan colonized or came and took over the country, and during the Second World War, Japan had to be defeated in the war. By that time, the USA and the Soviet Union had taken over the one Korea and divided it to make it two different countries, or two different entities. And a year after Japan had surrendered in 1945 after the Second World War, the country remained like that today, and that's why we have South Korea and a North Korea which is still standing today. North Korea has had 3 leaders. These leaders have been termed dictators. And yeah, in the country of North Korea, you don't make jokes about their leaders. You don't talk about religion while you are in North Korea. Like, there are so many restrictions of things that you are not supposed to talk about in North Korea. Putting on a blue jeans in North Korea or jeans trouser in North Korea is not permitted. Like this, they consider it Western culture. And yeah, North Korea is a country that is trying to preserve their own culture. I mean, keep up with their own beliefs, and they think that what is coming from the West should not be a part of them. So that's why so many things that is happening in the West is never going to be happening in North Korea. Now, traveling to North Korea, you don't just wake up, pick up your bags, and you're going the way you might just pick up your bag. You want to visit Dubai for a fun trip. It doesn't happen like that. Why you want to travel to North Korea? Going to North Korea, you have only tour companies that organize trips to North Korea. And most of the times, these trips do happen when they have their marathon that is going on in the country. So this is when they mostly receive visitors in the country. And if you don't have most of these events going on, it's difficult to have people traveling to North Korea. Now, during the COVID-19, which started in 2019, 2020, North Korea decided to close their borders. And so you can imagine that from 2020 till 2025, people had not visited North Korea until 2025, when they decided to open their borders just for some few, I think for a very short time. Some few people had visited and made a lot of videos, and these are some of the things that had to motivate me again to be able to visit this country. And yeah, there has been some changes North Korea isn't just a country that is ruled by a dictator, but then there's equally development going on in the country, so it might not even look like your country. Funny enough, they decide to show us what they want us to see. So in North Korea, you really can't tell, except people who have actually been to this country, and they can tell what they've seen and what they have not seen. As I said, North Korea, you don't talk about their leaders, you don't talk bad about their leaders. Like, you visit North Korea, you have testimonials from many people who have traveled to North Korea, like this one.
I knew that if I was caught, I'll be killed. I was born to a Chinese father and North Korean mother. But when I was 5, my father abandoned us and left to China and never returned. And lost my mother 6 years later from starvation. So I ended up living with my aunt until my father sent my stepbrother to take me to China. So I ended up in my father's place in China in 2008.
North Korea, as I said, is a country in East Asia. Yeah, they've got a population of at least 20 million plus inhabitants. It will interest you to know that people with US passports are not permitted to travel to North Korea. This is due to maybe some clashes that North Korea has had with the US in the past. And so anyone having who owns a US passport cannot travel to North Korea. Then funny enough, if you're living in South Korea, or if you are in South Korea, you can't really have a direct travel to North Korea. Even though they have borders, even though they were once one country, now things have changed, power have changed, and time has equally changed. And so going to North Korea is mostly through China. This is one of the routes that is very much open for people to travel to North Korea. And yeah, it will equally interest you to know that you have many citizens of North Korea outside of the country. Most of them had defected from the country. And yeah, when you defect from the country, you have heavy sanctions that is meted upon your family, maybe relatives, even friends. People who are related to you would go down for it when you defect from the country of North Korea. So North Korea is really a country that is so complicated, and they've got so many restrictions, and they've equally got this nuclear war that is going on, even with, with the entire, I don't know if I should say with the entire world, or with mostly the US and definitely some other countries. This is one of the things that makes the country to isolate himself, and has portrayed itself to be one of the world powers alongside Britain, France, Germany, and even Russia. The capital and largest city in North Korea is Pyongyang, with most of its inhabitants decided by the government, which means that before you live in Pyongyang, you must be one of the rich elites, or you must belong to one of the rich elites, or you must have been handpicked by the government officials, or definitely you're related to the president and all of that. Equally, Pyongyang is one of the cities in North Korea where you've got the best buildings, and most remarkable sites in North Korea are based in Pyongyang, like their museums, monuments, and so on and so forth. And so these are places where they always take people who are visiting, let me say tourists, who are visiting the country, to always show you around and make you rest with your country. If you have watched this video to this point in time, I want to say a very big thank you to you for having watched this video to this point. If you are not subscribed here, please consider subscribing. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please do give it a like, and do leave a comment if you find the video interesting. It's rather unfortunate that when I arrived here, my mic had gone off, and I didn't really notice. So it was after filming the video that I realized that my mic was off. Reason why I have to do voiceovers at this point in time. And so my dream is to travel to North Korea not far from now, if possible. Any moment from now, if I'm chanced and if I'm opportune, and if I get the means to be able to go to North Korea, I'll really be excited. Not excited because I am traveling out of my country, but because I'm going to experience how people live in North Korea and how the people have been surviving all this while and all that. It will really be an awesome experience. It will really be another awesome moment, going to see how some people live without the internet, living under some kind of duress and all of that. And so, just drop a comment and tell me what you think about a country like North Korea. Would you like to visit a country like North Korea? Drop a comment and let me know what you think in the comment section. Now, some other things that you didn't know about North Korea that will definitely blow your mind is the fact that once you travel to North Korea, you are actually cut off from the rest of the world, because even normal calls, you can't get through anyone out of Korea through normal calls. And yeah, that was my thought about North Korea. Thank you for having watched this video. It's been Elster Africa, and I'm